right, guys. Hi, good afternoon. Y'all having fun? Yes. Good. You learned a lot of stuff? Yes. All right, let's learn some more. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Sprite, and I'm on the marketing team here at Condé, but I specialize in product development and graphic design. I've been doing graphic design for 20 years, mostly in CorelDRAW, and so we're going to talk about some stuff today to just help you do better in this market. I know a lot of people are into sublimation right now. It's hard to set yourself apart from everyone, and we're going to talk about some ways to do that. So let's see. One of the first things that you can do is offer unique products. This is a 5x7 photo on a piece of metal. Really nice photo, you know, about $10 that you can sell this for. This is great. Everybody's offering this. There's nothing that's going to set this photo apart from a photo that anyone else is going to offer. So just by adding $2.50 in mounting material and a $5.50 back panel, you now have a $40 to $50 piece just by adding about $8 in your just adding $8 to your cost. So you've increased. All right. Okay, I should be. Pause. Oh, you need to switch to this. Well, I'm not doing anything. I'm just talking. I'm live.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. And you want to go back to this, right?
Let's go to the screen right here.
But you want to go to.
Hold
okay.
on. I got it. I got it. All right. Okay. David Gross, everybody. All right. So just by adding, you know, less than $10, you have increased your profits by at least $30. This is something that is unique, that people are going to cherish, that they're going to look at, and their friends are going to say, where did you get that from? And they're going to want to buy it. And this is an easy thing to do. We have a lot of videos on it on CondeTV.com. I'm more than happy to help anybody do this at any time. And the other great thing about this is because this is metal, you can brand it on the back. Branding it on the back is an incredibly easy thing to do. So let's say you have your artwork and you're about to press your metal. Before you press it, take a logo with some reorder information, tape it to the back, and while you press the front, you're going to press the back at the same time. So now when your customer's friend finds your piece of art that they love so much, they're going to pick it up and they're going to go, oh, I really need to call this company and buy some of this for my first 1-year-old's birthday, or my 16-year-old's sweet 16, or my 18-year-old's graduation. This is something that people are not offering that they should be, because this is fabulous. I mean, like I said, this is great, but this is eye-catching. This is show-stopping right here. So another way that you can set yourself apart and, you know, have people really look at you for a business is by offering great design. So, you know, everybody can do a mug. I love this mug. This is great. No problem with this mug. But you're going to get at the most $8 for this mug. You know, even if somebody comes to me and they say, I want you to put Sandy on a mug, I'll go, okay, it's going to be $8. You know, it was easy to do, no problem. This mug is at least a $20 mug. And all I did was add a piece of artwork to it. You know, you want things that are going to catch people's eye. People are going to come into a store and they're going to look right over this mug. They're going to go to a store and they're going to see this mug and they're going to pick it up and they're going to want to buy it. You have to make people, it's a psychological game, it really is. You have to make them want to pick it up. You have to make them want to spend the money on it. You have to make them think that they cannot live without this thing. And if it has their name on it in something that looks like this is not only professional, it's cute. I mean, there's so much that goes on with this mug. So I understand. Not everybody's an artist. I get that. Trust me. So we try to make it a little bit easier for you. The way that we do that is with Conde Design. So Conde Design is a website that we offer. It has just about 400 different designs on them, different patterns. And the patterns, let's see if I can figure this out real quick. I know. Here we go. Okay, let's see if this is going to work. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Okay, so this is the Conde Design website. So the Conde Design website, most of the patterns come over in 12 inches by 12 inches. Those are great because you can fit a 12 inch by 12 inch pattern on anything as small as a keychain to anything as large as a large piece of metal. Because these are vector patterns, they're never going to get pixelated. You can blow them up as much as you want, and you're never going to have that issue. They also come in a couple of other sizes. We have sizes just for mugs, we have sizes just for phone cases, and then we also have, you know, different categories up here, holiday, seasonal, sports, so it makes it easy for you to find it. When you buy the pattern, it comes across in 4 different formats. It comes across as a CDR. I'm going to pull this thing out. It comes across as a CDR for Corel Draw. It comes across as a PSD for Photoshop, which is layered by color as is the Corel Draw. It comes across as a PDF for use as in Illustrator, and it also comes across as a JPEG for people that use Silhouette and Creative Studio. Now, if you use the JPEG, you're not going to be able to change the colors, just because you can't edit a JPEG in those 2 graphic softwares. But if you are using Corel Draw, for example, you can change the color. And so what that's going to do is that's going to give you the option to use that same image many different ways. So you see I have this image here, I put it on a clipboard, and then I changed the colors and I put it on a pair of slippers. To look at those 2 items, you don't really think, oh, that's the same pattern, but it is, and all we did was change the color. And once you purchase the design, you own it. You can use it over and over and over and over again. You just can't sell the pattern as your own. One of the things that I suggest, when you buy a pattern, download it and save it to an external drive. You should do that to all of your artwork, all of your files, because as we know, computers crash and you lose everything. So you have that external drive that's not connected to your computer, that's not going to get a virus on it, and you're safe. So let's talk about how to change the color. So here is, well, let's see if I can change. Well, oh, I didn't change my artwork from last time. That's okay. So I'm just hitting Control Z, and I'm backing up until I get to the point where I need to be. It's the best thing ever. Control Z and Control Shift Z are your 2 best friends. They're my best friends. All right. There we go. There it went. Okay. That's what it looks like when you buy it. So, to change the color, all you have to do in Corel is you click on the color that you want to change, you go over here to your color palette, and you click on the color you want to change it to. Then you click on the next color, and you do the same thing. Let's do like, and so on and so forth. So it's incredibly easy to change the color. All right. In addition to the graphic packs that we have, the design packs that we have, we also offer monogram fonts, which you can do all of these things just by buying the 1 monogram font package. It gives you the option to do all of these different types of fonts. Monograms are always huge. They're huge. It doesn't matter if it's male or female. They like the monograms. Everyone likes the monograms. The other thing is the name boxes. Name boxes are also great. It's great to add that little bit of extra to your design that's going to add that little bit of value that you can end up cashing in on. So we'll talk about the name boxes here in a second. So the other way that Conde helps you is by saving you money by giving you templates. And how do we save you money by giving you templates? Well, I have this item right here, and this is a pretty odd shaped item. So if I didn't have the exact measurements or a scanner to scan this in, I would end up printing a big square and wasting a bunch of ink. Not to mention, I wouldn't really know where to center up my my lettering. So, you know, the template really helps. Excuse me. So when you download the template, you go to the product page and you go down here to the template tab. You just click on download template and it's going to download into a zipped file. It's going to download a zip file onto your drive. You just extract that and then you can use it. Okay, so we have 3,000 products here at Conde, and we are constantly updating the templates. We always strive to make it easy for you. And I understand that sometimes that's frustrating, but I mean, it's a lot of products and it's a lot of customers, and we're trying to make everyone happy. But if you ever come across a template that is incorrect, please call your sales rep and we will fix it. If you ever come across a template that does not have a file format that you support, that you can use with your graphic software, please call your sales rep and we will fix it for you. We need you to be able to use these products, because the better you can use these templates, the better your products are going to look, the more products you're going to sell, and the more products you're going to buy from us. So, you know, it's all down the chain. We need you guys to do good, and we're here to help you. All right, so once you download the template, you bring it, we're just going to use Corel today because, like I said, I've been doing it for a long time. So once you put it into Corel, it's going to look like this. You're going to have an exterior line, which is your bleed line, and then this interior green line, which is the approximate size of your product. So you always want to use the bleed line. Certain cases where you wouldn't want to use the bleed line is if you are just doing a name. If you're just doing the name Buster across the center, then you don't have to worry about the bleed because you're not bringing that image all the way out to the outer edges. But today we're going to, I'm going to show you how to power clip into this to save you ink. So what we're going to do is, oh, I keep doing that. What we're going to do is insert a design from Conde Design. There it is. And this is just a design that I got right off of Conde Design. You see it comes over like this, and you can see that it's not wide enough to fit onto my template. So there's a couple of things that I can do. I can grab this top node here and I can drag it. I can take this side node and I can pull it long ways, or I can duplicate it and just continue the pattern on. And so we're going to do that. I'm going to hit Control D, and then I'm going to group it together. All right. So now I want to send this to the back so I can see my template on top of it. And the way I do that, I have my object manager open over here on the right hand side. I have my group, which is highlighted, and I'm just going to take it and pull it and drop it down to the back. So now I can see my template on top of my artwork. So in order to get the artwork to fit into the template, I'm just going to right click, go to Power Clip Inside, and you'll see it turns into kind of a different looking black arrow, and then click on the outer line and it snaps it right into the frame. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. What happened? Okay, so now let's add some text. All right, so to add text, I just went here to my, my text tool, added the text. I'm going to change the font, make it a little bit bigger, and then I'm going to center it here in my template. Now there are a couple of shortcut keys to center. First off, in order to center it, I'm going to click on my template, and then I'm going to hold down Shift, and I'm going to click on my text. So I can click multiple things, and it's only going to hold the last thing that I clicked on. But if I click on something and hold down Shift, then I can click on multiple things at one time. That's going to grab everything that I'm clicking as long as I'm holding down Shift. So now that I have my outer template, my scarf template, and my name highlighted, I'm going to hit the letter C, and that's going to bring it to the center. And I guess I was pretty good about that because it didn't move at all, did it? That was good. Okay, let's see if I do that again. So we go C, and it moves slightly. Well, that was pretty good. Okay. All right, so now I'm just going to make Buster a little bit bigger. And let's talk about how I'm going to do this. So there's a couple of ways that you can move things. So I can grab my end node here, and I can pull it, and it's just going to pull that right side down. Or I can pull this bottom node, and it's just going to make it fatter. Or what I can do is I can move everything consecutively. So I can bring my pointer to the bottom node, hold down Shift, and as I pull, the entire thing is going to pull together. So that way it's pulling equidistant from the center. It's really cool. So let's do a little bit here. We're going to turn that white. We're going to give it an outline. Let's talk about doing an outline. So when you do an outline, you're going to double click down here on the bottom right-hand corner, and it's going to pop up your outline dialog box. So I like about a 6 to an 8 point outline. And then I always want it to be behind the fill, and I always want to scale it with my image. And that's what happens. Now, what happens if I don't bring it behind the fill? It sits on top of it. So behind the fill is a good thing to do. Also, if you don't scale it with your image, and you decide that you're going to move the things around, and you're going to make it smaller, then you see how thick your outline gets. So there you go. All right, so now we're ready to print. Well, we're going to delete this yellow green line, and then we're ready to press and print it. And this is what we have when we're done. So, all right, moving right along. You guys got any questions? What do you mean? Oh, right here? No, it will be there. That's your outline dialog box. So, and you can see where my pointer is. So that means outline. That little graphic right there means outline, and this little graphic right here means fill. So anytime you see that, it's going to be an outline, and then same with the other is going to be a fill. I think there's another. Let's see, where is it? Somewhere in here. Well, there's a pin. Yeah. So your outline is to the furthest of the right bottom, and then the interior is a little bit closer to that. Okay. Next up. All right. So, yes.
I did mention earlier, you can use files in Photoshop, so what do you call them?
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Without a doubt.
What type of file comes in on that?
It's a PSD file.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're not Corel specific. That's my forte. That's what I've been doing for so long. I like Photoshop, but if you know Corel, stick with it. I mean, there's no need to learn Photoshop. If you know Photoshop, stick with it. There's no need to learn Corel. There are some things that I do just in Photoshop that I don't do in Corel, but it's mainly photo editing because it's a photo editing software. Okay.
So this is a paid monthly subscription option to Conde Design?
No, ma'am. It's you purchase by the each.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So one of the things that have become very, very popular nowadays is our mugs. And with the mugs, we're doing a lot of curved items, and there's a little bit of a trick to design to a curved item. So one of the things that are super hot right now are our our wine tumblers. You guys know about our wine tumblers? Yeah, they're great. I love them. What is that, Tracy? Oh, I'm offended. Yeah, you better hide that. Yeah. So what happens is when you have a latte mug that is curved, you have to curve your design to fit that mug. So I don't know if you guys saw the shot glass demonstration out front. So if you look at the design before he puts it on, the design is actually curved. Because if I were to take that design and run it straight across, what's going to happen is it's actually going to look curved on the mug, because if you don't curve it, it gets a little wonky. So we'll talk about that. All right, so we're going to do our new wine glass tumbler, which is our SSWG 12-W. These names. I got it though, so you know. All right, so this is our wine glass template. All right, and as you can see, it has a pretty radical curve in it. So we are going to curve not only a bitmapped image, but we're also going to curve text. So we're going to take this image right here. I'm going to send it to the back so I can see my template on top of it. I'm going to shrink it down a little bit. Position it kind of where I want it. And then I'm going to come over here to my envelope tool. Now normally your envelope tool is hidden behind your drop shadow tool, which looks just like this. So if you come down and you click on this little triangle to the outside, it's going to open your flyout menu and you click on envelope. Now, the envelope tool is a really cool tool to learn because you can do all kinds of fun things with text and shape and stuff like that. So up here, when you click on the envelope tool, it opens up this other dialog box. And you have unconstrained mode, straight line, single arc, double arc, such and such. So let me show you kind of what this does. So if you click on the straight line and you click on this node and you pull it up, it's going to pull it up in a straight line eventually. There we go. Okay. Now, the other cool thing about this is if I were to do the same thing and I were to hold the shift key down, well, nope. You got to go back to the preset I want. Okay. If I were to hold down shift and do the same thing, oh gosh. Okay, make sure you're on the right preset and then hold down shift, click the node and press it up. And what happens is both the top and the bottom move constrained. So, or I can hit Control, go back to my preset, hit Control, do the same thing, and they both move in the same direction. So shift makes them go in opposite directions, Control makes them go in the same direction. So that's kind of a cool thing, right? That's pretty neat. But what we want to do is we want to match the bottom arc of our artwork, of our photo, to the bottom arc of our template. So in order to do that, we're going to go back here to my envelope tool and we're going to use the single arc mode. All right, I'm going to hold down shift because I want everything to move together. I'm going to click on my node and I'm going to pull it down. And it's not shift, it's control, and I apologize. I lied to you all. And then there you go. So now my bottom matches the curve of the template. So now, when I go to power clip this inside, and I actually print it out and put it on a cup, the bottom is going to be straight across all the way, and it's going to match in the back, and everything is going to be straight on. So let's add some text to this real quick. So if you do text, you're going to want to do the same thing. We're going to go to my envelope tool, make sure my preset is set correctly, hold down Control, and match it to my bottom arc. We're going to make it bigger. We'll make it white with a purple outline. Let's make that purple outline about 8. Behind fill, scale with object, and there you go. And so we're ready to print and press this, and you're going to end up with something that looks just like that. And I had a sample, but I don't know where it went. So there you go.
Yeah, if you do a full bleed,
Yes, ma'am.
have you, with the new shrink wrap thing,
Mhm.
do a full bleed on the whole,
On the water bottle?
on the water bottle or on the something like, how did we manipulate the shrink?
So, okay, so there's a lot of calculus that's involved in that, and so what I've done, and if you guys go down to the shrink film, you'll see there's a water bottle that I've done, and because of the arc of the curve, okay, because your top arc is fitting exactly, right, and then you have it where it kind of bubbles out, and it's even more of an arc. So what you have to do is you have to have your single template, extend the paper down, and then cut the paper into strips and lay the paper as you go. So you can do it. The other thing that I've seen that's a lot easier is to just do a monogram and then just tape the monogram to the bottom. But in order to go full top to bottom, you're not going to be able to go over that hump and get, unless you're using some type of vacuum sealer, you're not going to be able to get your transfer paper to lay flat enough against the image, against the item. So, anybody else? Yes, ma'am, even with the shrink wrap. It's just not designed for that. But like I said, you can do, like hearts or stars or flowers and just tape them on in different places, and then even do like a monogram and just tape the monogram on, but you're not going to be able to go full bleed top to bottom. All right, last thing. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to do is this great coat hanger, because it is an extremely odd product, and there's a couple of fun things that happen in this product. So, oh, there we go. All right, so here is the template for the coat hanger. All right, and the image that we're going to use is is also a pattern from Conde Design, Fancy to Mask. So this pattern comes across a little differently because I want to separate this center part out from the back. So I'm going to hit Control U, which is going to ungroup it, and that's on your sheet, and we'll talk about your sheet here in a second. And then I want to pull this part away, and I just want to use this piece right now, okay? So I'm going to do the same thing I did. I'm going to duplicate it because it needs to be wider than it already is. And then group it together. Okay, so I have my image selected. I'm going to hold down Shift. I'm going to select my coat hanger. I'm going to hit C. Wait a second. Let me group all of this together. There we go, Control G. Now I'm going to hold down Shift, click on my coat hanger, hit C to center it, and then E aligns it, which is great. So now I'm going to send this to the back. Power clip it inside my coat hanger. All right, now I'm ready to add a little bit of flourish here. So I like this, but I want it to be a little thinner, so I'm going to hold down Shift, and I'm going to move both sides in at the same time. I'm going to bring this over here, run it all the way across. I'm going to power clip that back in. Oh, what happened? Power clip that back into my coat hanger. Yeah, that's why. Make sure, before you power clip, make sure all of the items are grouped. You're going to be power clipping each thing at one time. There we go. All right, and now I have this name box which I want to put a beautiful photo in. All right, so I'm going to insert my photo just by dragging and dropping. And then once again, I'm just power clipping it inside. And then I'm just going to move it back. All right. And then there you go. And then this is your finished product. Oh, you know what I didn't do? And I didn't do it last time either. The last thing that I did is I wrapped the text around the top here. So let's talk about doing that. Mr. and Mrs. Taylor. All right. So you want to, if you're going to wrap text, you want to start kind of small, and then so you can fit, and then you can kind of group as or enlarge as you go. So I have this this text here. I'm going to go to text, go to fit text to path, and then it's going to give you all these options to where that text can fit. So we're going to try to fit it right here. And then you can see it's upside down and backwards, so we're going to flip it and then flip it again. All right. And now we can kind of move it a little bit more. Oh, that wasn't working. Okay. All right. So now this is grouped with my my template. So I want to break that apart by hitting Control K, and once again, that's on your sheet. We'll talk about that. We're gonna get to it. And so now I have this here, and I can add a little bit of flair to it, change the color, add an outline. So let's make it white with dark blue. Okay, there you go. And your end result is this, just like that. All right, so let's talk about some of the shortcut keys that are on your page. So a lot of things we went over. Control C, copy, Control V, paste, Control X, cut, Control S, save. A lot of good things in there. The Control K is to break an object apart. That's always good. Control Z, undo, my best friend. Control Shift Z, redo, also a good thing to know. And then Shift Tab. I wrote Shift Tab. It's actually not Shift Tab. It's Alt Tab, and I don't know why. But if you do Alt Tab, you can actually, if you have a multiple programs up, just by holding down Alt and hitting Tab, you can toggle between the programs, so you don't have to like figure out where you're at every time. So those are just some things that help me every day. If you flip to the second page, I'd like to talk about these websites I have listed. So this first one is Pexels.com. Pexels is amazing. They have hundreds and hundreds of all of these beautiful stock photos, and most of them are completely free for commercial use. So you can use them as backgrounds, you can use them however you want. It is a great resource. It's very user-friendly, it's comprehensive. I mean, you can search anything, and they have some really, really great photos out there. The next one is Word Market. So Word Market is probably one of my most favorite websites in the world. So what Word Market does is you type in a word, and it shows you that word with every single font on your computer. And then getting even better, so let's say, okay, I like that one, I like that one, okay, I like that one, I like that one, all right, I like that one, let's see, what do I like? And then it shows you what you have selected. So gone are the days of hitting the down arrow to scroll through your fonts. This is a lifesaver. It's a beautiful thing. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is the font. I don't know, I'm sure a lot of you already know about DaFont, but for those of you that don't, you need to know. DaFont is a font website, and the majority of the fonts are free for personal use, but quite a bit of them are completely free for commercial use, and some of them are free some of them are available for commercial use just by downloading to the author, and then you can use them forever. The great thing I love about this is that you have up at the top here, you have all of these different categories. You have calligraphy, you have sans serif, you have square, you have Chinese, you have any single font you can think of. And then the other good thing is that you type in a word, not Sprite, how about Sprite? You type in a word and it shows you your word in all of the fonts. So once again, beautiful thing. And then you see over here, this says this is demo for 2 fonts, free for personal use, 100% free. 100% free. So, you know, there's a lot of different things on here that you can use really easy. All right, last page. Brands of the World. Brands of the World is a fabulous resource to have in your toolbox. Brands of the World is every single brand that has ever been and that ever will be, and they come across in vector format, so you can go in and you can change them. These are logos that are free to use. Do a little bit of research, please, but I'm just kind of pointing you in the direction of where you need to go. Brands of the World I use a lot for inspiration. If somebody says, Sprite, I need a business logo, and I go, okay, what kind of business do you have? Well, it's a roofing company. I'll go on Brands of the World and I'll type in roofing company logos, and I'll look at all their logos, and I'll kind of get an idea of what's trending in the world of logos on Brands of the World. So a good resource to have. The last thing that I want to talk about is coolors.co. This is great. So I deal with color all day long, and sometimes it's really hard to find 5 colors that match each other, and this makes it easy. So you hit the space bar and you get 5 random colors. Let's say I like one of these colors. Let's say I like this one, so I lock it. Then I hit my space bar again, and it gives me 4 new colors that match that color. Let's say I like this one and this one. Not too great about these 2. Hit space bar again. All right, I like this one. Okay, so there's my 5 colors. Let's go even better than that. It tells you the RGB and CMYK values for each color. Not to mention that you can go in here and you can actually change the shade to what you want it to be. So you can change it. You can pick the color that you like, and it can give you the 4 matching colors that match it. Do I have any questions? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, Nicole came and brought them. So yeah, if you guys need a sheet, you can get it. Thank you so much.
Got a question for you.